Yes, people, how are we doing? Welcome back to the Hoops Pod NBA. We're gonna recap games one and two of the playoffs of the semifinals so far. If you haven't seen it already, I posted a predictions video of us three doing the predictions. You can check it out on the videos. But guys, how are we doing? Everything okay? Let's get started. Justin King, how you guys doing?
Uh, eh.
Meh.
I'm all right. I'm a neutral, so I'm just waiting for the draft.
As you can tell
Um,
by his hat. As you can tell by his hat.
yeah, my team, and yeah, no, this playoff's been very interesting. It's been a very interesting playoff so far. I'm kind of shocked how it's going so far. To be honest with you,
All I hear is,
my
bro.
draft board, my draft board's out the window. All the things that I thought was gonna happen hasn't happened so
Bro,
far, and we'll
yeah.
see. But
Every
happy to talk about it.
sorry. Every year, yeah, I always hear, "Oh, it's the best playoffs ever." Oh, it's the shop. Every year is the best playoffs ever, isn't it? Every year is the best playoffs ever. But
It's not the best. It's just the most interesting because there's not. I don't feel like there's gonna be an out and out winner. There's not like a team that looks greater than everyone else at the moment.
listen, you might think I'm a miserable Celtics fan right now. I still got faith in my team. I've still got faith that the series is not over. That's is what it is. I don't want to lose faith in my team yet. I don't have any reason to. I don't want to lose faith. I want to keep the faith. I want the Celtics to go through. I'm still backing my boys in games 3 and 4. Listen, we'll see how it goes. But guys, as you are tuning in, make sure you guys are hitting the like button and subscribing on your way in. It helps out the algorithm of the channel. It helps out the channel as well. As you know, we'd like to get to a new milestone soon. Subscribe to obviously before you subscribe to my channel, always head over to my panelists and subscribe to them before you subscribe to me because, like I said, I always prioritize my panelists every single show, every single time. So big up King, big up Justin every single time. But let's get started. I mean, why don't we just start with the Celtics and just get it out of the way first? Because as you know, I'm a Celtics fan and I would like to get things out of the way first. But Justin, I want to hear from you first, actually, because obviously you are a Celtics fan as well as me. Um, how are you feeling ahead of games 3 and 4? Obviously, games 1 and 2 was not what we wanted. We did want us to lose both games, in the manner we lost it. But listen, it's not over yet, not yet at least. But I want to know your thoughts on these past 2 games and just. I know we spoke after game one. Actually, I'll ask about game two. We already spoke about game one together. We did a show together. I want to ask you about game two. Let me know how you're feeling about game two, man. Just tell me overall feeling. Because I saw the chat in Discord. It was popping, and it was like, and everyone was arguing with each other. Typical after a loss. So yeah, I want to know your thoughts, bro. Continue.
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
I can't hear you.
You really want to know my thoughts on this?
I asked you for game one already. Though, to be fair, we did a show after game one. But I want to know your thoughts after game two.
Okay. Okay. It's the same outcome on from Monday that happened on Wednesday. Look, I know you're not giving up, but I don't know, bro. I don't know, bro. I'm still gonna be a Celtics fan no matter what, but I'm starting to lose. As you can tell by my title on the bottom, Celtics might be done. So I don't want to stick with that, but that's where my head's going.
The Celtics are done with games 1 and 2. Now we move on to game 3. That's what we're done with.
It's gonna be hard to win at Madison Square Garden during the playoffs. I mean, I know the
The Knicks,
Pistons.
the Pistons did it. The Pistons did it in both games. The Pistons won 2 games there.
Oh, okay, yes, but I, I don't know. If the Knicks get one game at home, which they will, and we come back 3-1, it's I don't know. I I don't know. I just don't.
I still have a bit of faith. Like, look, listen, it's the manner we lost both games. Like, we could say that the Celtics did enough to win those two games. I'll be honest, we did enough to win those two games. The fact that we only lost by 3 in game one and 1 in game two, even if we've shot so poorly, right? I can say this in hindsight. Imagine the Celtics shot 45% from 3. We just had 2 poor shooting games. Very, very poor shooting games. Listen, if the Celtics can turn it around as the best road team in the NBA this year, then we've got to do it at Madison Square Garden. We've got to go to the. You know what it is? I say this even in football, right, King? Sometimes in title races, you have to go to the opposition grounds, your title rivals' grounds, and get a result. The Knicks are competing with us for a championship. We have to go and win there. Simple as. It's not simple to win games, but you have to go to the Knicks and win now. We've got no option. You have to go to Madison Square Garden and win, because if the Celtics do get swept, right, by the Knicks, it'll be one of the most embarrassing championship defenses I've ever seen. Aside from when the Golden State Warriors got slapped by the Lakers in 2023, that was kind of embarrassing. I'll be honest, because the Lakers at the time were nowhere near Golden State. The Knicks are not better than the Celtics. Yes, they've won games 1 and 2, but whose team would you rather take? Even if if the Knicks go and win the championship, fair play. If the Knicks go and win the championship, fair play to them. They thoroughly deserve it. But if you ask me, if you're talking about right now, even if the Celtics are 2-0 down, would you take Celtics team over the Knicks team? Because I would. It just didn't shoot well in the last 2 games, in my opinion.
The only way I would take the Celtics team over the Knicks team is if Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown shows up. That's it. They've disappeared the last 2 games, especially Tatum in the fourth quarter. This is what pisses me off about the Celtics. Their star players always seem to disappear when we were up 20 points the past 2 games.
They take their foot off the gas, bro.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem. And the Knicks are undefeated on the road. So even if we win the next 2 games at home at their home, they're gonna come in the TD Garden and beat us in Game 5.
That depends on how the Celtics are playing in the next 2 games. If we start shooting much better, because we can shoot. Because, bro, like I said, if the Celtics start shooting 45% from 3, we smoke the Knicks in these 2 games. We've been up by 20, yeah. We were up by 20, but then you know why we were up by 20? Because we were playing our game and we didn't take our foot off the gas and we were just attacking the paint. The Celtics decided to settle for threes in late in the third and late in the fourth. That's what costed us these 2 games. I'll just be honest with you right now. The Celtics threw away the game by themselves. We did enough to win those 2 games, but we decided to throw it away. It's just plain and simple. We didn't deserve to. Okay, I'll say this. We deserve to lose the game by the manner we gave the Knicks those 2 games, right? But we did enough to win those 2 games if we had finished off our chances, because we had chances. We were rebounding well. We were playing. I say we didn't play poorly in the third quarter. It's more the fourth quarter, because game 2, we didn't score for 8 minutes from the field. We didn't score a field goal. Or would you say field goal? Yeah, I will say field goal. We didn't score a field goal for 8.5 minutes, and that's not good enough. That's not good enough. And if you want to win close games, you have to know when you take your chances. Because you could go, okay, because I'll say this, you can go scoreless for 4 minutes, fine. Scoreless for 4 minutes is okay, as long as you maintain your lead, and then you go back on a scoring run again. I don't see why it's not going to be. I don't see why we can't. I don't see why we can't win those games. But games 1 and 2, right, are just pure examples as to what the Celtics have been under Joe Mazzulla. And last year, we won the championship because the players were up for it. I can ask questions: are the players up for it now? Are the players have the players given up? Have the players said, you know what, we're bored. We're bored. We've been playing with this team for a long time. We've won a championship. The pressure's off us now. There's no need for us to go back to back. In my opinion, right, starting Al Horford in Game 2 was the right decision. In my opinion, you bring Porzingis off the bench, but for me, my understanding is right. Like, Joe Mazzulla did not want to play Porzingis in the fourth quarter. All right, and I'll say this as well. KP's performances in the playoffs this year has not been to the standard I thought it would be. But in game 2, did you see that putback by Karl-Anthony Towns towards the end of the game, the N1 on Al Horford? That's the one example I need from Porzingis to be on that glass because I need a rebound from a big man, from a 7-foot big man. That's what you need. You need someone who can rebound late in games. Porzingis can rebound. You know? And that's the one thing I didn't like after that game. His rotations are not... His Joe Mazzulla's rotations aren't great. His in-game management, I'll be honest with you, the lack of timeouts, the urge not to call timeouts, the fact that let the players play. You let the players play, and it's going to end up costing them. When the players need their coach to help them, instead of figuring out, because it's the fucking playoffs, call a timeout and rest and regroup, get back out there with a bit more energy after the timeouts. Bro, these players are gassed. These players are tired. You're overplaying them. I can look at the players, but I understand I understand that they're missing shots, but they could be really tired as well. Because the playoffs are a different game. You need to save energy for your players. And this is the one thing that also pisses me off. You should not be having KP. Sorry, you should not be having Pritchard, Hauser, and Cornette together in a game. In a game, you can't be having them in the game together. They should be in the game separately. You shouldn't be having all your bench players at once together. Yes, it's an 8-man rotation type of game. Yes, I know you said it's an 8-man rotation, but don't have them all in the game together. It does not make sense. You can bring on Luke Cornette, fine. But don't bring Pritchard and Hauser on together. You're basically you're basically throwing the white towel there by playing your bench, in a way. You understand what I'm trying to say? Like, you're kind of just throwing. You just. I don't know how to explain it, but it's kind of like, you're trying to gamble on your bench to get you points when you know your starters are not. But even if your bench isn't getting you points, what's the point of having them on? Do you know what I'm saying? It's just the rotations are just so poor, man. And Tatum not sitting, right? And Tatum sitting out in the fourth quarter, right, for, let's say, a good chunk of it, because you bring him on when Brunson comes back into the game. The Celtics didn't call a timeout. You bring him back into the game, right? You bring Tatum back into the game, quite late into the game as well. In my opinion, Jason Tatum should be starting the fourth quarter. He should be starting the fourth quarter. He should not be on the bench come the start of the fourth quarter. You sit him out for the rest of the third quarter, or maybe sit him out for half of the first half. Second half is when we need to win the game, not the first half. The first half is not where we do our job. The second half is where we finish our job. You know what I'm saying? But this is my issue. The Celtics have done enough to win those two games. They just did not finish the game well. They didn't finish the game off. They played their game up until the third quarter and just threw the game away. So we could really be up 2-0 right now. The Knicks fans know that they got away with those two games because the Celtics decided to chuck up 3 corners. Yes, that's how we won a championship. But if it's not working, why do you continue doing it? You know? This is my biggest issue with teams like nowadays. They just settle for so many 3-pointers. Like the 3-point line is overused in today's day. Yes, the game has changed. Yes, 3-pointers are helpful. But if you need a quick bucket, just drive to the paint, attack the basket. The 2-pointers count as well. 2-pointers count too. And I can tell you something, King. I hate to bring this up, but do you remember that Sixers Celtics game early in the year when you were up by 26? The inability for your team to not finish your chances. Not finishing chances. The Celtics came back because they took their chances. They attacked the paint. That's what I want to see. I would much rather be down 20 than up 20 right now. I can't lie. I ain't even joking when I say this because the Celtics do well when they're down 20. When they're up 20, they don't. They choke. And that's been the series under Joe Mazzulla. That's been the exact same issue under Joe Mazzulla. We keep choking leads because we settle for so less. We settle for the 3-point line. When you don't finish your chances in games, like I can even go back to the Miami Heat series in 2023. We were up by 13 in game 1. They came back because we didn't want to finish our chances. We kept missing. When you keep missing from the field goal line or from the 3-point line, teams start to pick up momentum and then they go on runs. The Celtics have shot 25 to 100 3-pointers in the last 2 games, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's the number, 25 to 100. 25 made threes out of 100 taken, which is just embarrassing. I can't lie, bro. It's really, really embarrassing. So all I ask for the Celtics is the game. You're the best road team in the NBA, right? The urge to win Game 3. What you need to do: shoot better, finish your chances, attack the paint. Let's stop settling for 3-pointers every single possession. We can easily win these 2 games if we shoot better, shooting better, attacking the paint. Playing, rebounding, better rotations. That's all I ask for, and win and steal this next game. And then all of a sudden you're confident of winning the next game, and then on and on and on. You know what I'm saying? I know I've spoken for quite a long time. I want to hear you guys now because I've spoken for quite a long time. This is the longest I think I've spoken on a panel for probably quite some time. But listen, I want to know your thoughts, Justin, on what I said, and King, I want you to add as well because obviously you're an outsider looking into the Celtics, right? But I want to, because obviously Justin is a Celtics fan. I want to ask you if you agree with what I said and some of the things that you might want to add.
Kane, you go ahead, bud.
King, go ahead. Actually, you can go ahead.
For me, I agree. I think being 25% from the free the past 2 games, both games, was terrible. I don't think it's about shooting better. It's about you keep settling for the frees. In this type of game, for me, I think the Celtics need to start going for the paint.
Because we did that in the first half, and that's why we were up by 20. When we attacked the paint, we started scoring. We went on a run. The Knicks had to call timeout. Keep forcing the Knicks to call timeouts. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, especially with because for me the Knicks are just a starting 5. I don't rate their bench. So when it comes to the Knicks starting 5, the main aim is to get into the paint, make them foul you, make them have foul trouble, make them have to use the rotation pieces, make them have to use Mitchell Robinson, who's a bad free throw shooter, make them have to be uncomfortable. And you didn't do that once you were up 20. You just settled for frees. You went a bit lazy when it came to the shot taking. And the fact that it's historically bad 3-point shooting, because 25 to 100, that's what, 25%?
I'm just estimating.
1 in 4. No, it was 25 to 100. You missed 45 in the first game. You missed 30 in the second game. So that's 75 shots missed altogether on the free ball.
15 for 60.
You even get like maybe 10 of those shots each into actually driving into the paint and going for 2. You win both games easily. You come out on top.
Exactly.
And the first game went to overtime. That was on your fault. The second game, it was a last minute, block from Mikal Bridges. But New York shouldn't have came.
Drew Holiday foul. It was a Drew Holiday foul that gave the Knicks the lead again. We because Drew
But then
Holiday runs into the free throw. Because sorry to interrupt you, bro. Let me just quickly add this one more thing here.
Yeah.
We kept doing the hacker. We kept hacking Mitchell Robinson. Like, why when you're on 2 fouls, why do you need to keep fouling? You're putting him in foul trouble. You're putting us in foul trouble. Not only that, you're putting them into the bonus, which will then allow them to shoot free throws, no matter who you foul. So that's what pissed me off. Why did you need to foul when we had so many fouls remaining in the game? Don't need to hack Mitchell Robinson, bro. That's not the game, man. That's not how the game's supposed to go, because you could foul anyone and they could shoot free throws, you know? So that's what pissed me off. We just kept fouling for no reason at all. So yeah, sorry, I just wanted to say that point, bro. Sorry, keep going.
No. How fouling Mitchell Robinson's the right thing to do because he is a terrible free throw shooter.
It didn't work. They got him out of the game.
But before that, you should have at least stopped taking threes, as I said, and gone into the paint, made Cat have to maybe get into foul trouble, make some of the defenders have to get into foul trouble, because I definitely believe that their bench options aren't that great. And it should have just been about punishing them for the first. If you punished them properly in the first 3 quarters, it would have been a blowout. 4th quarter, you could have chilled. You probably could have taken off your starting guys, put on some reserves, and you would have come out of Boston 2 up. But you rested on your laurels. You went for lazy shots. You shot a bunch of threes and missed a lot of them.
The coach refused to call a timeout.
Yeah, and then they came back into the game and they won the first one in overtime. The second one, as I said, right at the end, obviously, Mikal Bridges with the block on Tatum, and
yep,
you go to New York 2-0 down as the team that was the favorites going into it, as the team that supposed to be one of the best teams in the country, 3rd best record in the whole country as well. And you're losing to an inferior team, and you're giving them hope. And when you give a team like that hope, and they're going into their home stand, they only need, just how great New York's record is away, they only need 1. Even if you win the 3rd and they win the 4th, they may even come out with a gentleman's sweep just because you've given them those 2 home games initially. And if you keep doing this pattern of shooting threes, and not actually going for the neck and going for the throat, it reminds me of like why I don't like LeBron, because LeBron used to settle for threes all the time, but I just want him just to go down the throat. When he was at his peak, when he's at his best, is when he's angry and he's just going straight down the throat, making them foul out, making them have to use the bench role players and making them have to be uncomfortable. And that's what the Celtics need to do for New York. But I will end with this.
Go on.
It's unfortunate for the Celtics, but as a neutral, go New York, go New York, go New York, go New York, go. Yeah, I need them all the way. Their fans are crazy. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Anyway, no, but in all honesty, the Celtics can come back. Come back.
Enjoy the draft lottery, my friend. Enjoy the draft
lottery. I will do. We're capturing the flag.
It'd be very interesting to see what pick you come out next week.
We're capturing the flag. Don't worry. Yep. Don't worry. Yeah.
But
Adam Silver's got the.
I also want to give this here. I also want to give a statement here. Not a statement, but I want to give this here. I was actually finding this while you were giving your point. The time leading in series. I remembered I found it right. The Celtics have led for 81 minutes and 4 seconds, and the Knicks have only led for 12 minutes and 15 seconds in these 2 games. And the Knicks lead the series 2-0. So that just tells you everything you need to know. Finishing your chances, execution, and like, I don't know if we should use the word. I don't know if I should use this word in basketball, but clinicality, being clinical. Like how in football you have to be clinical. You know what I'm saying? Be clinical. In basketball, same. But Justin, I want to go to you next. I want to know. Just add some thoughts. I want to add your own thoughts on this, because I know you, me and King have spoken a lot, but I know I went on a rant, kinda, but I just want my team to win, bro. I want us to steal one, then the next, and the other. But I want to know your thoughts as a whole, because I haven't heard from you much about Game 2. I've heard from you in Game 1, but let's talk about it as a whole, like, you know, because I know you're losing confidence, but try to find some light. You know, I mean, if you can, and give us your thought. Give us your own personal thoughts.
I I can't. I really can't. I don't have anything else that Kane said that I can barely say except this. If we make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, we are not going back to the finals. Plain and simple.
I don't mind losing the conference finals. I would much rather lose there than the semifinals.
But then again, yeah, we dominated the Knicks at Madison Square Garden. Yeah, we dominated the road during the regular season.
We've not
That's
been good this year. I'll tell you, we've not been good at home this year. Celtics.
that's regular season though that we've been good on the road.
In the playoffs, we were very even last year, but we lost 2 games at home when we shouldn't have lost, especially 2 teams with injuries as well.
Okay, but we
So
also lost one game on the road in the NBA Finals.
I hear it, but even then, that was just a one-off game from us.
I get that, but we also lost one. I know we won the.
We lost one game on the road this year.
Yeah.
To the match. That was a refereeing decision that should not have happened. I won't get
Yeah.
into it.
Look, all I'm saying is, yes, I'm starting to lose confidence, and honestly, I don't think any Celtics fans can blame me for losing confidence right now, because, like Kane said, if the Knicks win one game on the road, I mean at their home, they need to win one in our building. The Knicks are 5-0 on the road. 5-0. They are the only road team left undefeated in this playoffs.
That's true.
So, do I want us to win? Yes. Am I going to count the Knicks out? No. Am I going to be upset that the Knicks beat us in the playoffs? Yes, but guess what? It's gonna leave me. It's not gonna bother me for the rest of the season. It's not gonna bother me for the rest of the year, because we got what we wanted last year, and it's very hard to repeat as champions. I mean, we can ask the Lakers in 2020. We can ask the Bucks in 21. We can ask the Warriors in 22. We can even ask the Nuggets in 23.
Very hard to repeat.
But if we lose this playoff series to the Knicks, you say it's the worst tower defense of the whole entire championship. I don't see that being the worst.
No. I said if we get swept by the Knicks, not if we lose. I said if we get swept. If we lose the Knicks in 6, okay. But if we get swept, then fucking hell, that's embarrassing. Especially in the game.
I will say this. We will probably win one game on the road, whether that be game 3 or whether that be game 4. But I'm telling you right,
because I don't want to be 3-0 down.
No, it's gonna be one game. It's gonna be one game that we win on the road.
Okay.
I in a real life Celtics fan, I want us to win. If I'm being non-biased here for a second, Jalen Brunson won Clutch Player of the Year for a reason.
Yeah.
He knows how to be clutch in these playoff series.
But we allowed him to be clutch, though. We shouldn't have.
Right, I get that, and so did Detroit.
Yep, Detroit as well, but Detroit got robbed in my opinion in one of those games.
So all I'm saying is, do I want the Celtics to win? Yes. But as a basketball fan, next Wednesday might be our funeral.
Next Wednesday at TD Garden.
Yes, because like Kane said, they have to win one on the road if they get one at home.
I hear it, but I'm not going to lose faith yet. I don't want to lose faith yet. As a Celtic fan,
And to answer this question from PY, what he said by they must play Horford and KP together, he's saying he wants Derek White, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Kristaps Porzingis, and Al Horford in the lineup. He wants Drew Holiday to come off the bench. To me, I think that's the stupidest move that they could. That I think that's the
No, I
stupidest
don't.
idea.
I don't think that's what he means. I think they should play him and Horford together and sit one of Drew Holiday out because and okay then that is stupid. But playing them two together, it's only gonna be our death wish because you can't because look, Horford's a great guy. Horford's a great player. Bring him off the bench
He's
or
30.
start
He's 38
with
years old. I don't think Al Horford. I don't think Al. No disrespect to Al Horford, because I know Bree. I know Bree loves Horford, but
Do I love Horford. I've been watching Horford for a time, bro.
he's getting up there in age. Don't be,
No,
and I wouldn't even be surprised if even if we don't win the championship this year, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't come back for another season because he's gonna retire soon. He's 38 years old. There's no way he plays to 40.
uh, you finished? You finished, bro?
Oh yeah, I'm done.
Okay. I guess that's it. We have for the Celtics. Game 3, Game 4. Let's
Can
not
I add
predict.
something?
Let's not predict. I don't want to predict those games. Let's just move on.
Can I add something quickly?
Sorry, go. Last point.
I will say this. What the Celtics really need is Porzingis to actually turn up in this third game.
Thank you. He's not turned up this playoffs, man. He's really not turned up. He's been a shadow of himself. He's been playing like really weak. He's not making blocks like he used to. He's not making shots like he used to. There's something wrong with Porzingis, and I'm a bit concerned because I think this might be his last. If the Celtics do leave do exit the playoffs in the semifinals, that's Porzingis' last spell for the Celtics. I think he's gone this offseason. So he has to show us what we can while he's still here. And if he doesn't, even a better reason to trade him. And I love KP. I like his energy. But you need to make yourself available. You need to make yourself available, man. We can't keep relying on availabilities for us in the playoffs. I understand we didn't have him for the majority of the playoffs last year. But at the same time, like, we can't keep going into playoffs. Robert Williams out injured. Then now Porzingis is now out injured. So which fucking center is going to be available for us to play? Because I'm not seeing Luke Cornett start in a playoff game. Sorry, no, I'm not. Okay, I don't care about this energy whatsoever bullshit. I don't care, right? Yes, we have Al Horford. Okay, and I love Al Horford. But please, Porzingis, make yourself available, man. We need an available center because we never, bro. Robert Williams in the 2022 playoffs, we didn't have him. He was injured. He came back late in the. He came back against the Brooklyn Nets and he got injured again. And he came back. He was consistently injured and then he came back. We need someone available for us. We can't just keep relying on Porzingis or Robert Williams to be fit. We need an available center to be there for us. And that's what really pisses me off. We never have an available big man for us. We can start Al Horford. He has experience. He's a dog. He's a tough player. But you can't keep relying on Al Horford. You can't. You need someone to be there as a backup or start ahead of him and let him come off the bench. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, Kim. Continue your point, bro.
No, I agree. That's my thing. The reason why I say Porzingis needs to show up, because in order for you to win the series, right, you need Porzingis as the starting center because Cat is the problem. He's one of the biggest problems that New York has. And the issue is you want him to have to do more work defensively. So with Porzingis, you have a guy who can shoot on the inside, shoot from the outside, move Cat around, and make him have to do defensive work, unlike Horford. And also the second thing I would say is that if you even get past this round, whatever team you face, you're coming up against the big man in Evan Mobley or Miles Turner and those boys. So for me, if Celtics want to go all the way, they need Porzingis to show up in the next couple games because He is the for me. I think he is the platform for the Celtics to come back and win the series. With the fact that you need JT and JB to perform at
and he
All-Star
turned
level.
up in New York as well, and he loves playing in New York as well. He loves to turn up in New York. So this is no perfect place for him to turn up. No better place for him to turn up than in front of the Knicks fans who hate him.
Yeah, if he doesn't, if it's Al Horford starting, if it's KP not playing barely any minutes, not doing anything, you're just gonna lose again because you're just not gonna have anything inside.
I don't think we'll lose. That means we'll lose. I just think that helps us. That doesn't help us with size. That's it. Because the Celtics are capable of winning games even without Porzingis.
No, but Al Horford isn't the big man that you want to be starting.
No. He's not the guy that's going to help. He is, but you can't always rely on him for majority of the game. You need someone as a backup as well. Because look, go back and watch the playoffs in 2022 against the Milwaukee Bucks. Al Horford turned up with 28 points. He's capable of doing stuff like this. Al Horford is capable of playing games like this. I've seen it plenty of times, right? But then again, he can't do it all by himself. He needs someone on the glass. And there's one thing I will say though. There's one point I was gonna make, yeah. It's about Porzingis, I think. Like you need rebounds. You need someone on the glass, and Porzingis is not there for you when you need him. Porzingis is not always there, and we dealt with this Pacers team last year as well, without Porzingis, Miles Turner, Siakam. We dealt with them last year, but do you know why we beat them? They did not close out their 2 games at home. We were down by 18 in both those games, mind you. The Pacers lost both those games. They lost game 1 because they couldn't finish their chances. And this just takes me back to the Celtics this year. Not taking your chances is going to cost you. So like I said, Bro King, the Celtics did enough to win those games. They just didn't finish the game. They played till mid third quarter and gave up. So all I ask for is play for the full 48 minutes and finish the fucking game off, please. That's all I ask for. Because if you finish your chances in games 1 and 2, you win those games. Even if by a small margin, you still win those 2 games. You know what I'm saying? Even if by a small margin. So like I said, just go and win these 2 games. Try and steal game 3. Confidence will come back. That's all I ask for. By the way, I don't know what you mean by this PY, but hey, I don't know. I don't know what you mean. Shout out my guy Ross every single time, bro. We're going back to Bilbao, bro. Let's go. Anyways, I think we said enough with the Celtics. Unless you guys.
Yeah, I'm ready to move on from this.
We spent a long time on it because listen, like I said, it's a long segment. We need to get it out of the way. It's our team, so we have to get it out of the way. Next up, Cavaliers down 2-0. We should. Justin, I want to start with you on this one. I haven't heard much from you this stream. I want to ask you about the Cavs being down 2-0.
I'm not losing faith in the Cavaliers because I don't know. They got injuries, but so do the Pacers. So I don't know. I'm still saying Cavs in 6. That I don't know what else I don't know what else I have to say, but
what do you think the Cavs' biggest issue has been in games 1 and 2?
Injuries to Darius Garland, injuries to Evan Mobley, injuries to DeAndre Hunter, injuries to the guys that should be on the court. Donovan Mitchell can't do it all. Neither can Jared Allen. So yeah, injuries. If Darius Garland's not out there on the court for Game 3, then my opinion changes.
What do you think happened in Game 2 though? Because the Cavs were up by 18.
Tyrese Halliburton happened.
Yeah, that was a really good shot to win the game. To be honest with you. But King, I want to go to you next. Cavs and Pacers. If you can give your opinion on this, because the Cavs did not close out Game 2. They should have closed out Game 2. Game 1 they just got beat. plain and simple. They just got beaten game one. Fair play. Sometimes you don't always have to win your game ones, but games two is important, and Cavs didn't do that. They blew like what 18-point lead, and then they were up like what 9 or something with a minute and a half, with like a minute remaining, and then the Pacers just came back. It's more the offensive rebounds of the Pacers. You know the Pacers are so good at rebounding, and the Cavs missed Evan Mobley, their biggest rebounder, the defensive NBA's defensive player of the year this year. I want to know your thoughts on the Cavaliers, and then we'll move on swiftly to the next two games.
Yeah, I agree with Justin. It's the injuries, because this playoffs has shown me that the big man is still important, even though people think it's a 3-pointers game. That makes rebounding more important, especially if you have the size. Size matters. So for the Cavs, you lose out on Evan Mobley. He's not. You don't have the size for the rebounding. You don't have your second star in Garland, meaning that you're asking Donovan Mitchell to carry that extra load against a team that is very rough, very tough, has a lot of guys that can get 15 to 20 points each. You know, Indiana Pacers to me are just a team. They're not really superstar. They've got Halliburton, who is their star, but he's not a superstar. So it kind of feels like that they just have everything going perfectly. They have the machine working, but then the Cavs are broken down. DeAndre Hunter's out, gonna possibly out next game. Even Mobley's probably out next game, and then Garland, who hasn't shown up in the playoffs yet. So you have all those compounding injuries. You're not the same team that was number one in the East for all the season, because you don't have your starting five. You don't have your small man rotation that you usually have, and you're using a bunch of guys that aren't giving you anything. And you're facing a team that is just shooting when they need to, doing what they need to defensively, rebounding at a much better clip, and you lose both your home games. This, for me, for Cleveland, this is a upward struggle. But I would say this: regardless of the injury, Mobley, Garland, Hunter, take some painkillers, rub some icy hot on it, and be there for game 3. Because if you're not, the Pacers are gonna sweep your ass. And if that happens, your number one seed ain't gonna mean anything, because you have the perfect opportunity right now to make it all the way to the finals, especially with what the Celtics are doing on their end. You can't be losing this kind of opportunity. So, and for me, at this current moment, Indiana are in 4 or 5, because I don't see Cleveland busting the gut to get their players back there. And I know injuries are injuries, but this is playoffs. Players play injured during this time period. Risk it for a biscuit.
But how could you? Okay, I know I'm a Celtics fan. I can't talk about blowing leads, right? But how did they blow that lead with literally like a minute to go? They had that game 2 in the bag, bro. That's even worse than how the Celtics did it. I'll tell you why. Because the Celtics blew it over the course of a longer period of time. The Cavs blew it with a minute to go. They were up by more when the Celtics were up with a minute to go. The Cavs were up by, I think, 8? They were up by like 112 to 120. Sorry, 119. I can't remember what it was. I don't remember how many the Cavs were up by, but they were up by some margin with a minute to go, and that's when they lost the game. But why? Like, my question is, why and how do you think that happened? Do you think it was the offensive rebound? Do you think it was the?
Yeah, it was the rebounding. They didn't have that presence.
The pressure.
Yeah, they're a very young team as well, so they couldn't handle the pressure. They didn't have the rebounding, and it was a craziness, because obviously Halliburton had the free throw. He got his own rebound, and then he hit the shot. That's like once in a million kind of thing. And maybe it's not Cleveland's year. Maybe Cleveland aren't there yet. Maybe they need to get that extra oomph. But at the same time, Garland hasn't been available, and in these kind of rounds, you need your 2 stars. You need Mitchell, you need Garland, and Mobley as well. So what I'm saying is, they need to put whatever they need to put on, take whatever they need to take to get themselves 50%, 60% fit to play that third game, because if they don't, it's going to be a long week for Cleveland fans, and it's going to be it's looking like it's trending towards a Pacers versus Knicks Eastern Conference final. That's what it's looking like. Halliburton and Jalen Brunson were doing up WWE against each other, so it's looking like that's going to be real life. Maybe it foreshadowed it, but yeah, the two best teams in the East, they just need to strap in and get the dubs, because this is playoff.
Man.
This is playoff basketball.
I back us.
This ain't no soft. There ain't
Yeah.
no softness around here, man. I don't care if you got injuries. Get on the court and ball out, because you're fighting for your lives right now.
Jalen Brunson versus Tyrese Halliburton at Madison Square Garden in WWE. Oh my god!
It's real life. It's real life. It's happening.
But I back us to win game 3. I'm not gonna lose hope. I'm gonna stay positive. But yeah. But here I just found I don't mean to get back to the Celtics, but I just found a tweet from Caleb Burton. Right, the Celtics. Joe Mazzulla has been saying that Porzingis is dealing with an illness that's impacting his fatigue and his breathing. So I don't know if it'll help him. I don't know if these 2 days will help him with the rest, because the Celtics played after 2 days, and I don't mean to make excuses, right? But the Knicks just played 3 days before the Celtics did. We had a longer break off. The Knicks were, what do you call? I'd say they were more in rhythm, because they just played before. We had a break. I'm not saying that's an excuse as why we lost those games. No, because we did enough. Like I said, we did enough to win those games. But do you think this rest that the Celtics have right now can maybe help Porzingis with his health, and maybe help him with his help him with the impact on the game? You think it might sort of bring him up to level?
You hope so. You hope so, man. Take his herbals, take his tea, whatever he needs to take. Because in the end of the day, whatever he needs to make sure that his breathing's right, that he's fit and ready, because his limited minutes in the last 2 games has been an issue, and he's a guy that can be a difference maker for the Celtics and for your team, and he's needed right now. Al Horford is past his sell by date. If anything, you probably need to move him on and get someone younger in.
I don't think he's past it. I think he's being overused.
No, but he's good, like, as a veteran presence. But if I'm looking at Celtics and I'm saying these are the 8 guys I'm going for, I want a younger center as the backup.
I hear it. I still bring Horford off the bench. I wouldn't move him on. I'd still bring him off the bench. I think he plays for one more season and he goes, because he wants to retire here. I think the Celtics want to keep him until he retires. We need a veteran presence as well.
Oh no, you can keep him, but I wouldn't have him be a part of the playoff squad.
He's not.
You need fresher bigs.
I think you do. I think you have him as part of the playoff squad, but you don't start him. You give him minimum minutes. Give him small impactful minutes. Like, he can come off the bench and maybe make a slight impact. Because the one thing I like about Horford is his rebounding, and the one thing I like about Horford is just like he's always tough. So I like his presence, but we're overusing him. And I would bring him off the bench, and I would.
Sorry, not to interrupt you, but
It's your show too, man. Go on.
Shams is on the Pat McAfee show right now, and they were asked, and he was asked about Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, and DeAndre Hunter for tonight's pivotal Game 3.
And they're out?
He said that they are aiming to play in tonight's pivotal Game 3, meaning they're all aiming to play in tonight's Game 3.
Okay.
However,
over.
I I know what he's saying, but until I see them on the court tonight at 7:30, then I don't believe it.
Yeah.
Do you think they will play? I think they will. You know, it's risky to lose it at this point. You know, for me, I think they have to play. It's no choice, and their presence will make an impact on the Cavs because we've seen it in the playoffs when the Cavs had them all fit against the Miami Heat. Right? There's no coincidence that the Cavs scored buckets of points. We're getting rebounds galore. You know, they were destroying them. So yeah, all I'm saying is they need to be fit for tonight if the Cavs want to stand a chance of making the conference finals. And the Celtics need Porzingis to be 100%, or at least up to there. So yeah. But anyways, I'll give my quick thoughts on the Cavs and the Pacers. I think the Cavs are just I think the Cavs are not done. I don't think they're done. I'll just say this. Yes, the Cavs lost game 1 and 2. But also the reason the one thing that the Cavs lost, right, was injuries. The Cavs had was injuries. They blew but at the same time they blew game 1 and 2. They blew it. They blew it. Arian, I'm not losing hope. I'm not losing hope. We're the best road team in the NBA for a reason. We have the best road record in the NBA for a reason. Yes, it's the regular season, but we won so many games in a row at the road for a reason. Might be done. I'm not hearing this. Might be done. Fuck that. I'm not losing hope now. Sorry. I just refuse to back down. I refuse. Even if we go 3-0 down, I'm still hopeful we can pull off a comeback. I'm not losing hope till it's over. When it's over, it's over. I'm not gonna sit there and be like the Celtics are done. No, we're not. It's not done. You know, it's not over. So like I said, just win the next game and see how it is. Celtics 6 or 7. Look, potentially. I'm not gonna predict anything right now, right? But all I'm gonna say is I ain't losing hope. But back to the Cavs, yeah. Injuries didn't help them in these 2 games. But if you go look at that, like the game that they blew was where they missed Evan Mobley so much in the offensive rebound towards the end of the game because that was what they needed. They needed a rebounder on Tyrese Halliburton, not just Tyrese Halliburton, but Jarrett Allen, Pascal Siakam, Miles Turner. Them 2 players were getting the rebounds, they were getting the boards, they were helping on the offense, defense, whatever. They're beating the Cavs for size and strength. So strength to strength, the Cavs are being outdone. But if the Cavs can get their 3 players back tonight, it's not over. But that's all I gotta say about the Cavs. OKC versus Denver. Let's talk about that one because Denver Nuggets stole Game 1 in a very in the best possible fashion. Aaron Gordon scoring another buzzer beater in the playoffs yet again. Both games on the road as well. So he's the road runner. We can say he's the road runner, you know, because look, Game 1, me and Justin were live, yeah, talking about the Celtics. He told me that the OKC were up 102-93. I remember the exact thing you said. The OKC Thunder are up 102-93 against Denver.
And I also said if they lose game 1, you do not want to be in Oklahoma that night.
Yeah. And in Game 1, I told you Denver come back. Denver, did you see the way they won the game as well? Off a missed free throw, no timeouts, rush across the court, Aaron Gordon for 3 and he scores. The guy's not a 3-point specialist, but he knocked down a 3 to win them the game. So that's just clutch as hell. What was it like a 3-point win? Was it like a 3? Was it
Aaron Gordon, I believe, shot a 3-pointer.
No, he did. But what was the score? Like, was it like a 3-point win, or was it like a 2-point?
Can you go? Is there any chance you can go back and look up the final score from Game 1 for OKC and Denver?
I can. Yeah, I can. I can bring it up.
Because I honestly have no idea.
No, I can bring it up. I can bring it up. I can bring it up.
121 to 119.
1-2,
One
1-2, 1.
Okay.
So they scored a 3 right at the death.
Okay.
Listen, at the end of the day, Denver Nuggets stole game 1. Got blown out in game 2. By the way, they got absolutely battered in game 2. That was not a, that was a game to forget for the Nuggets. Justin or King, any of you guys can start this one. I've given my thoughts. I think the Nuggets going back home is very, very good. They might win this in 6. I'm still sticking with Denver in 6. I still got Denver. I still think Denver have a good chance to win. Like, they're going back home 1-1. Denver are very, very good at home. We can say that yes, Denver lost to the Clippers at home, but the Clippers are very, very good as well. They just didn't turn up for Game 7. Albeit, OKC Thunder are the best team in the NBA for a reason right now in terms of record. The record speaks for itself. So I won't be surprised if either wins the next game, but I'm going to back the Nuggets. But I've given my thoughts. I think Nuggets are still going to win the series. King, I'll go to you first, and then Justin, you can give your thoughts. Or Justin, if you want to go first on this one.
King goes first.
Okay. Go on, bro. King. Just give your quick thoughts on the Nuggets and the Clippers game. Nuggets OKC game. My bad.
Oh yeah. For me, this is probably the closest tie. I think they're both really good teams. I mean, it was good for Denver to get to get the first game in the depth. It's always good to at least seal one of the away fixtures. So, well, the one of the road games, as you say. So I feel like for Denver, I feel they did everything they needed to, and I think they played a much better game in the first game, and then in the second they got blown out. But for me, this the thing about Denver, which I don't like, is because they fired their coach just before the playoffs. It just seems very hectic in terms of the style they play. Sometimes it just feels like they're not really being coached properly, especially in the second game. A lot of the things they were trying, it just seemed um as though that they were just, giving it to Jokic and then seeing what he could do. But a lot of the time it just felt like they're missing something when it comes to Denver. And then OKC in the second game kind of turned on them in a way, and I think they showed up in a way that Denver couldn't handle, and they suffocated them in that second game. So I don't know. I think it looks very bad for Denver going forward. Uh, I think OKC can steal a game or even both at Denver. I feel like they're the much better coach team, and I feel like they've got a lot of pieces. Another thing that they did really well is they had two big men on Jokic, so they didn't give him the time and space to be able to get the passes in and do what he does best. And a lot of the times when he did kick it out for a free, a lot of the times Denver missed in that second game, and they kept missing threes, and then Thunder was just making their shots, making their opportunities, hitting Denver in multiple facets, and it led for that blowout in the second game. So it's worrying times if you're a Denver fan. I don't see them coming out of this at the moment. I don't think they're coached well. I don't think they have any ideas, and I don't know if they're gonna create a way for Jokic to play in the next coming games, because the size that OKC had on him, yeah, he wasn't doing anything. They suffocated Jokic, and if you suffocate that big man like the way they did, it's going to be easy pickings for them. So that's what I think. So I think I initially thought that Denver or the Clippers would beat up the Thunder, but no, the Thunder are showing me something that I'm not seeing from the likes of Cleveland as a young team. And yeah, they're looking scary. I'm gonna lie to you, they're looking scary to go all the way.
Look, Denver Nuggets firing Michael Malone might have been their what you call might have been their fate. It might have been their fate. Because firing Michael Malone, right, after he got you a championship, you're only asking for you're only asking to get destroyed and for this team to break up, because this Denver Nuggets team is very, very, very good. Let me tell you this right now, it's very good, right? Let's not get it twisted here. But they're being poorly coached. You're right. They're not being properly coached. And you had that coach, but you decided to fire him along with your GM for absolutely no reason whatsoever. I just don't fucking understand. Like, even the Memphis Grizzlies did the same. We spoke about the Memphis Grizzlies. We spoke about them. We spoke about what the Grizzlies did. They fired their head coach, and they're also in the mud, right? They got swept by OKC. It wasn't even close. Denver are now playing two teams with OKC are now playing two teams with no coach. And this is not a discredit to OKC. I'm just saying that Denver is completely, like, they blundered this so bad, and you're only asking to lose, and firing your head coach has probably decided their fate. But like I said, I'm still, the fact that Jokic can still put up numbers, the fact that Jokic is still, balling out for Denver. Don't be surprised if Denver does win the series, but it might just be they might be under the cosh now. It might be under the cosh with the way that OKC played last game. But like I said, I'm still backing Denver. I'm not going to back down from my prediction unless I see something else. But you are right. Denver does need a head coach. Like, they're not being coached well. Jokic is doing everything for Denver. He's doing everything for Denver. Or Gordon's playing defense. Michael Porter shooting for threes. They're just doing everything that Michael Malone's done them to do. This coach that they have them right now, it's not doing anything for them. It's not doing anything for them. This is all Michael Malone's work being carried on by his assistant. So I don't know if you agree. I don't know if you guys agree. I just think that the Nuggets needed to keep Michael Malone, man. It was just very, very poor decision making by them, by their front office. Justin, I want your thoughts on what King said.
Honestly, I agree with what Kane said. I also agree with what you said, Akeven, because, like you said, this is the second series that OKC is playing a team without a head coach. But it doesn't matter. It does not matter. You're playing against a team that has an MVP caliber superstar in Nikola Jokic. But then again, Denver Nuggets is also playing against the guy who wants to win a championship more, in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys know this, but this is the only series that has 0 injuries.
You talking about OKC?
Yes, these two teams, Oklahoma City and Denver, are the only teams playing in this playoffs that has 0 injuries to any team.
The Celtics? No, the Knicks too. The Knicks had no injuries. The Knicks had no injuries too.
Okay, but still,
before Sam Hauser got injured, but yeah.
Okay, but still, they're playing. These two teams are the only teams, minus the Knicks, who have 0 injuries.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and when we get to the Warriors and Timberwolves, I got a lot to say about that. But as far as this one, these were my champions to pick it after the All-Star break, and these are my champions still to pick. I'm still sticking with Oklahoma City to make it through this series.
And you know what? Since you said that, we can swiftly move on to the Warriors versus Timberwolves, and you can start off with it because I know you have a lot to say. Might as well get off your chest now.
Okay. So game one, the Warriors did win when Stephen Curry went down with an injury. I know that.
What? Sorry, to interrupt you, Justin. What receipts are you on about, my friend? Because you have more receipts than me. You have I'm the owner of this channel, mind you. I got all the receipts about you, my friend. So you, yeah, I've got the receipts about you. Big up. Anyway, sorry, Justin.
Your chat's the most insane that I've ever seen. Well, actually, no. Jesse's is the most
I don't get much
insane,
interaction,
but
but listen, my chat is wild. This is apart from PY, yeah, and Johnny, right? I
but
know I've done shows with Rasta. I've done shows with I'm talking about Aryan. Aryan is my friend from Thailand. But anyways, bro, wait, this is not the Premier League show, man. This is the NBA show, bro. Man, talking about Joseph. Fucking hell. All right, never mind. I'll see you on the Premier League, bro. Justin, go on, bro. I'm done. Sorry.
oh my god. Oh man. No, like I said, Stephen Curry went down with an injury, and the Golden State Warriors still came out with the win for Game One. Okay, I get that. Then we move on. Then we move on to the next day, and Shams Sharana, who was on the Pat McAfee show, basically said the other day that Stephen Curry has a grade one hamstring injury, which is going to keep him out for a week. Well, they pretty much posted on the ticker down below that he's gonna be reevaluated on Wednesday. So that means he's out for games. He was already out for game two. He's gonna be out for games 3, 4, and 5. At the earliest, he's gonna return to 6. So, Akevin, I'm sorry to say this, but without Stephen Curry, to me, it's Timberwolves in 5.
But did you see the way that the Timberwolves won Game One though? Sorry, lost Game One though.
I
Even
did.
without
I
Steph
did.
Curry.
I did. But I also saw last night that the Warriors need Stephen Curry to win this because Jimmy Butler is not the Jimmy Butler without Stephen Curry. And Draymond Green got a 5th technical foul, which by the way, if he gets 2 more, he's out for 1 game.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Does anybody besides DJ, who's a Warriors and Celtics fan, does anybody want that cancer in the Western Conference Finals again? Because I don't.
As in you want the Warriors in the conference finals?
No, I don't want the Warriors in the conference finals because Draymond
I
Green
couldn't care less, to be honest with
doesn't.
you. If my team don't make the conference finals, I don't see why I should care because it doesn't affect me anymore. The Lakers ain't winning the championship this year.
No, I
That's
get
all
it. I did tell you, however, when the Rockets were playing the Warriors in Game 7, if the Rockets had won that series, it would have been Rockets in the conference finals.
I just want a classic conference finals. Like I don't from the West. I don't care about who makes it. It's more about the classic team. Like which team is gonna do it. You know.
Honestly, to me, I think Timberwolves. I know we don't. I know we won't care, but I think Timberwolves and Thunder will be a great Western Conference Finals.
Even if the Warriors are missing Steph Curry, the Timberwolves deserve to make the conference finals.
Yes, they do.
After what they did in the first round, right? Whatever they did to the Lakers in the first round, right? They deserve to make the conference finals for that. They're such a young, talented team, right? But I actually imagine this scenario: Timberwolves versus Knicks in the NBA Finals. Randall versus Cat.
Ugh.
Imagine that.
Ugh.
Imagine the hostile atmosphere in
Ugh.
New York when Julius Randle returns to New York for the conference for the NBA Finals.
I don't know, but
for the conference finals. But bro, Jimmy Butler used to play for the Timberwolves, right? Do you know what would be blood? Like do you know what's gonna be absolute blood? You know what's gonna be like a bloodbath? Fucking Butler versus Denver, because you know what happened what happened with Butler and the Denver Nuggets in the past. You've seen it as well. You've seen it as well with Jimmy Butler and the Denver Nuggets. I think he has like some issue with one of their players, Caldwell Pope or something. If I'm not mistaken. I don't remember what the incident was, but I think he had an incident with one of their players. But I think Butler's gonna want blood in that series, so it's gonna be interesting to see. However, with that being said, I still think the Warriors can go through. Do I want them in the conference finals? I don't know. I don't mind, but the Timberwolves deserve it. They're a good young team. But sorry, Justin, you want to continue what you were saying?
I just to me, I know we're not doing predictions, but to me, I'm still riding with Oklahoma City Thunder and Minnesota Timberwolves to make it out of the series.
King, last thoughts on the series, and we'll wrap it up here.
I'm pretty much agree with what Justin said. I think the Warriors not having Stephen Curry is going to be their issue. He's missing the next 2 games. You're going up against a very young Timberwolves team. Draymond Green is a stone throw away from being kicked out. Jimmy Butler isn't going to be able to do it all by himself, because that's what the Warriors were so great, is that they had that 1-2 punch. Steph Curry was hitting you from the outside. Jimmy Butler was hitting you from the inside. But without that 1-2 punch, I don't think they have enough to win the next 2 games. So for me, I think Minnesota's going to win the next 2 games, and then it's going to be whether the Warriors can come back and make it a 7-game series. Can they? Possibly, but it depends on how fit Steph Curry will be after that, because the injury he had is a bad one, because he does a lot of running, and a lot of his game is about running away, running to different spots, being able to find spaces to shoot his free. So I'll be honest, I think the Warriors are done. In all honesty, I think Minnesota are gonna get through it. Obviously, the first game for both that Golden State was gonna win, but when you have your star guy go out like the way he did and the injury he did, yeah, it's gonna be a long time. I don't think the Warriors have it to beat Minnesota again without Curry, and that will probably lead to them winning the Minnesota winning in 5 or 6, and yeah, just like Justin said, it's probably going to be OKC versus Minnesota, and that's going to be exciting.
If it goes 6, Curry's back. If it ends in 5, Curry misses the rest of the series. So here, go ahead, Ikevin.
Oh no, go on, bro. Go on.
So what I'm saying is, if Minnesota does not want to face Stephen Curry again, then they need to win these next 2 games in San Francisco, and they need to end it in Minnesota on Wednesday. Because if they don't, and Stephen Curry is back for Game 6, then I'm not counting out Stephen Curry to force us for a Game 7. But as of right now, I'm saying this: Stephen Curry is going to miss the whole entire series, and you know what? I don't think Curry has left. I don't think Curry has anything left to prove for the Warriors. He's done pretty much everything that he can for this Warriors franchise, including 4 championships. So I think right now the matchup everyone wants to see is Anthony Edwards against Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Because yeah, Jimmy Butler wants revenge against Nikola Jokic, but let's be honest, if Jimmy Butler goes up against Nikola Jokic, he's gonna get destroyed yet again. So I just honestly, in my honest NBA fan opinion, I want to see Shai versus Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, that'll be a great matchup. 2 young guys going each other. That'll be a great matchup. That's what I want to see. I'll be honest. The way that, because Denver's not really coached and Golden State are old, so for me, I would like the young guys to go through. I think that would be more exciting, especially in the West.
Cavs versus Celtics can still happen, bro. It can still happen. It's not done yet. That's all I will say. Man's only saying this because the Lakers got eliminated from the playoffs. Lakers, Celtics, Bron, Curry, Lakers, Clippers, Cavs, Celtics. I know you missed out on a lot of games, true, but Celtics and Cavs can still happen. It's not done yet. Cavs get their players back tonight. They win this game, and they win this game. It might be on, lads. It might be on. All I want to see is Celtics come back in the playoffs against the Knicks. I don't want to see the Celtics go down 3. Yeah, of course, bro. Of course, we don't want to. Neither me and Justin don't want to see it as well. But what do you mean by this on Curry's legacy though? Because I mentioned this last show as well that Curry's legacy will not be ruined.
Yeah, no, it's cemented. He's 4 championships. He's
for sure.
If anything, he's just asking for bonus points right now. If he gets a 5th, he gets a 5th. If he don't, he don't. But it's a young man's game, so his team's boss.
It's literally the era of, like, let's say we had Bill Russell, we had Elgin Baylor or whatever, Jerry West, and John Havlicek, whatever, right? We had Magic versus Bird. We had Kobe, Shaq, MJ, and we also had LeBron, Curry. Like, we've had different rivalries, different GOATs, and different eras, like different competitions. Sorry, different competition. My bad. Yeah, there you go. But yeah, no, it's cemented for sure. He just, like, Curry does not need to win a 5th championship to cement his place. He's there already. He's already broken the NBA all-time three-point score. He's already like I said, he's won 4 championships with the Warriors. Not easy to do.
He's also passed Ray Allen for the most 3-pointers in a career.
Guys, he could have done the 4-peat, Curry. 14-15 they won one, the Warriors. 15-16, 16-17, 17-18, and 18-9. Sorry, 5-peat. They could have done a 5-peat, the Warriors.
Yeah, they could have.
It was unfortunate that they didn't close out the series against the Cavs. And it was very unfortunate that they had to deal with injuries against the Raptors. Albeit, I think Toronto would have won that year just because it was Cinderella run. And Kawhi was balling out. So I don't know. But yeah, sorry. Go on, bro. You want to say something?
Yeah, you're right. This is a new era. This is the YN era. Anybody can get it. There's not really a top dog at the moment. Obviously, Anthony Edwards himself said he doesn't want to be the face of the franchise or the league. But we're still trying to figure out who's the face of the league. Some people would say it's Jason Tatum. Some people say Jokic. Some people say Doncic.
I think it's Jokic.
Well, no, you have to win multiple championships in order for this to be your era. You have to dominate the era.
It's Curry and LeBron still. Like, if we're talking about face of the league, it's still like what would you turn on? You'd turn on to watch LeBron and Curry still. They're competing at a late age.
No, not at this moment. I wouldn't turn to watch them too.
It's still them two. Like, there's still a lot of Warriors fans turning on to watch Curry. There's still a lot of Lakers fans and NBA fans turning to watch LeBron. Like, it's not done. Their careers are still going on. Like, for me,
I think they're just towards the end peak. They're in their Brooklyn Nets, KG, Big 3 era. That's what they are. They're on their ending. Yeah. They're towards the end of their career. This is the YN era, man. The YNs are coming through. Your Edwards, your Shays. Someone needs to stake their name as on the top of the leaderboard. Is Jason Tatum going to do it? He's got a couple games to show it. Is Shea going to do it? Is Anthony Edwards going to do it? Is Jalen Brunson going to do it? Who's going to be the guy to stake their name and say, I'm that guy? Is Giannis going to come back around next season and do it? Or make a big move to a team to say, this is my time? Is Doncic going to do it with the Lakers? We don't know. So for me right now, it's YNs. And they're fighting out to see who the top dog is. And I like it because for the last 4 or 5 seasons, it's been different teams each year. And for me, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting because there's a lot
now he's leading the merchandise sales because he was there. He went there. Now he's leading it. It was LeBron. It's still, I think it's still LeBron overall. But as of right now, we're talking about as of today. Yeah, Doncic is leading the sales for sure. Sorry,
Yeah,
go on. Go on.
but yeah, no, it's a new European
Era.
international era. But
Giannis is Greek. Giannis is Greek.
yeah, so like it's different. It's different now. You still got your young American guys in it and in shape, but I want to in order for it to be an era, you need to win 2-3 championships in within a
Would have
period
loved
of
to have seen
time and
Dirk with
say
Team
that you are the guy. So
Would have loved
it's
to have
about
seen Dirk era, bro. Genuinely,
huh?
the European
Who's?
era would have Dirk
Oh
Nowitzki.
yeah, Dirk in this era would ball out. He'd love it
Sure.
right now.
Sorry, bro. Go finish what you were saying,
He
man.
would ball out. But yeah, I just feel like I feel like there's no one that staked their claim, and Jason Tatum could have staked that claim with back to back, maybe even go for a three-peat. But you know, he needs to take out New York. He needs to as much as I said Porzingis needs to come back. Jason Tatum needs to step up in the fourth,
Mm.
and if that doesn't happen, he can't stake his name on top of the list because
No, I agree.
he could rubber stamp it, bang, say yeah, I'm him, but he's not doing it so far. He's got a couple
Jokic,
games to show it.
Luka, and Shea. Shea's Canadian. Jokic is from Serbia. Giannis is half Greek, half Nigerian. Luka's from. He's not Serbian. He's where's he from?
Slovenian.
Slovenia. Thank you. Ant is American. In that list, there's only one American.
Yeah.
But no, it can. No, but I still think that the Americans are still the best in terms of like as a group. But individuals, you got the Europeans. If we're talking just pure individual, Europeans for sure.
Well, if it was world versus US, the world starting five would be dangerous, and especially if you look at like the guys, like even if you added like an Embiid as a 6-man or something like that, it's a long day.
But if we're talking like pure USA, like just as a group, as a team, I think USA is still better. But as pure individuals, the Europeans are on top. You know what I'm trying to say? But yeah, Slovenia facts. Let's answer this comment, and then I'll give my thoughts on the Warriors game. What thoughts of America versus World All-Star game? Sorry, what do you think of an America versus World All-Star game? I think we're working a good workout, but there could be some intangible incentives. Doubt European players to take it seriously. I don't think they won't. I think they will take it seriously, but it's kind of like stereotyping in a way, because you're trying to separate them. Sorry, I might have just said something that makes no sense at all, but it kind of like you're kind of like saying, oh, but this America versus European. Why don't you have America versus like Greece, America versus Canada, America versus Slovenia, America versus Serbia? Prove it. If America is still on top, you know what I'm trying to say.
For an all-star game, you can't.
Why
America versus world would work, and you know what the good thing about the world would be is if they slap their flag on their chest, so they're fighting for their flag. Then it would be
European players take it seriously. The part where he says doubt European players take it seriously is kind of like I don't think they wouldn't take it seriously. So the only way for them to take it seriously is you put them in their respective countries, then they'll take it seriously.
Or if you put the All-Star game in a European crowd.
Right.
Because if you actually watch like Slovenian, Serbian basketball, if you look at the EuroLeague, if you look at their crowds,
very close, by the way, they were so close.
If you look at their crowds compared to the NBA, it's night and day. Them man are doing up flares, they're singing the whole time. I think for the All-Star game to become the next big thing, I think it needs to go to international audiences and have an international crowd behind it. Because then, imagine you did America versus World game in like Europe somewhere, whether it be Germany, Italy, wherever, and then whoever wins the game decides where the next All-Star game is. If America wins, the next All-Star game is in America. If the world wins, the next All-Star game is somewhere in the world, and you just do it like that.
World All-Star, because some of these sorry to interrupt you, bro, yeah, but some of these World All-Star players could literally change their allegiance and nationality to America. They could easily do that because they've been playing in the NBA for quite some time. Like Shea, I don't know how long he's been playing in America for, but he could change. He could change his nationality to America, like the way Embiid did. Embiid had He had multiple. He had dual citizenship. He had Cameroon. He had France. He had Canada. I think. Now he
No,
has
no,
US.
it was just America, France. He was either gonna play for France or America, and
No, he had
America just
he had Cameroon as well. He had Cameroon. He's
oh
from
yeah, because
Cameroon.
that's where he's from Cameroon.
Yeah, that's where
But
he's from. Yeah,
obviously, France and America were the two teams that
that's what
he could have played
they could
for, but
easily
he
change
chose
their visa
America.
to America. They could
But
change their elite.
he's just a specific case. But most guys pick their nation because
No, I
they're
hear it.
loyal to it.
I hear it. Yeah, but they could easily do it if they wanted to because they've been in America for quite some time now. So
Yeah, some do, but some are like if you're Canadian, you're proud to be Canadian. If you're like Slovenia, you're
no, of
proud to
course,
be from there. So
I
most
hear you.
people won't. But
I hear
Embiid
you.
is a different case because Cameroon don't really have an NBA team, so you either have a FIBA team, so you either pick France or
Yeah.
America. And if I'm him, I have more attachment to America than France.
No, I hear you.
But
Just
it would have been mad if he was in that French team. Him, Wemby. Oh,
yeah.
that would have been
crazy.
that would have been
He should have chosen France in my opinion, man. That France team is stacked.
Yeah, it would have been dirty.
But the problem is that with France, they mostly have big men. They don't have like actual like point guards or whatever. It's more like big. Wemby's a big man. Gobert is a big man. Embiid would be a big man. Who else is a big man? Who else would they have in that France team? Oh, Yabusele, another big man. You see, it's mostly big men with France. Like that's the only problem. Like they only have because where's Embiid gonna fit in? He play power forward, play center because Wemby's there. You've got Rudy Gobert there. You
Yeah.
can't bench Rudy Gobert. He's been very good for France.
Now
So
Rudy would be on the bench if Embiid actually chose them.
Fair. But who would? But I'm forgetting who's their point guard or shooting guard. I'm forgetting who it is. But
Their point guard is Meldon. They got Zachary Ricochet,
yeah,
Evan
Risa
Fournier. So they've got pieces
Oh,
like
yeah, Evan Fournier,
it would
yes.
pretty much Rudy would go to the bench and B would be the center and then Wemby
Yeah,
chief
they'd
power
have some
forward.
more.
Ricochet,
But it's
Fournier,
mostly,
and
but it's
Meldon.
mostly the big men. But it's mostly the big men that stands out. You know what I'm trying
Yeah,
to say?
yeah. They got Alex Saw, Yabusele, Koulibaly. They got hella size.
I forgot about Alex Sarr.
Yeah, they got hella size.
But
But Embiid
But
chose America.
that's what the FIBA World Cup is for. All-Star games with one-off. We know the nation get work. Sorry, and we know the America is the nation in terms of basketball and stardom and supremacy. America versus Europe could work. It could. But it depends what Giannis is Greece anyways, isn't he? He chose Greece, right?
Yeah, he's Greek. Yeah.
Okay. Because he could easily play for Nigeria as well. He has dual citizenship.
Yeah, but I don't think Nigeria has a FIBA team like that. I don't know if they do.
No, I think they do, but they're just not strong compared to like Greece or whatever. Because they got the Antetokounmpo brothers anyways, like them three. But sorry, I don't think it's enough for Greece to get over the line for me anyways. Yeah, especially with King's suggestion, that's a legendary jury for reach, revenue, and ratings. It's also competitiveness too. Big up, Mike's. I'm gonna have hopefully if you can join on my Premier League show soon. That'd be good, bro. So let me give my thoughts on the Warriors, and then we'll wrap it up here. Yeah. Justin, do you want to add anything to what we discussed, or do you think do you agree with pretty much what you're saying?
I'm good. I'll let you wrap it up.
All right, cool. All right, be free. All right, cool, bro. I'll send you the link soon. Yeah, I'll do the European show first, and then I'll send you the link when we're doing Premier League predictions. Big up to you, man. Hope you're well and everything. But anyways, I'll give my thoughts on the Warriors. I think 1-1 seems like a fair reflection on the series so far. Yes, you could maybe say Steph Curry's injury might have impacted them. Might have played a negative impact on the Warriors. Sure, I get it. But now with what game 3 tomorrow? Wait, game 3 is what tomorrow? It's tomorrow, isn't it? Game 3, not today, but tomorrow after the Celtics game, or day after the Celtics game.
Tonight's game 3s are Cavaliers, Pacers, and then Thunder and Nuggets. Tomorrow's games 3s are Celtics, Knicks, and Warriors, Timberwolves.
Okay. So the Warriors Timberwolves game is tomorrow. Steph Curry's been out for how many days now?
He's been out for 3 days as of today. He'll be out until Game 6
I reckon.
on.
I reckon he plays Game 6. I reckon that bring him.
That's if they force a Game 6.
But I don't know. I just think it's a fair reflection. I mean, the Timberwolves have a young squad. They're a good team. Ant's been playing well. You know, Goldberg's been getting the rebounds. Randall's clutch for them. Naz Reid, I know he left the game. I know he's out injured as well. So is he done for the playoffs, or is he gonna be back for the next game or whatever? Naz Reid. Because I know both him and Curry got out of the game. Do you guys have an update on Naz Reid or anything for the Timberwolves? He's important to them. He's important to that team. Do you guys have any updates?
He's playing. He's fine.
Okay. So like I said, not with Naz Reid, that's important as well. But even then, bro, like it's gonna be a fair reflection if it goes 2-2. I think it'll be 2-2 going back to Game 6. I think the Warriors will take one from home because it's the pride of playing at home. You got your fans backing you. You know, the Warriors fans. You know how they're like, very passionate fans. So I think the Warriors will take one game, and the Timberwolves will steal one. So it'll be 2-2 going into Game 6 back in Minnesota. So we'll see. Celtics to be the first Celtics to be the first team to come back. Yeah, it could be. I hope we are. You know what? That would be great. Imagine we go down 3-0, come back to win the series 4-3, and go and win that championship. The feeling this year would be so much better than last year. I can't lie.
So Game 5 would be in Minnesota. Game 6 would be in San Francisco.
Sorry, my bad. Sorry. My bad. Game 5 in Warriors. My bad. I skipped Game 5. Yeah, Game 5 in Minnesota and Game 6 in San Francisco. I reckon that he could make it back for Game 5. I think there's a chance that he could make it back. And like you said in the chat here, bro, Curry will be reevaluated on Wednesday. Fair enough. I think by then, hopefully, just for neutral purposes, he should be fit and ready to go, because the Warriors will need him, especially if the series does go back 2-2. Going away to Minnesota is going to be tough. They're going to need to get something from there and come home and seal the series in 6, or if not 7. They'll need him for Game 6 and 7 if the Warriors do make it there, which I think they will. I think it'll be 2-2 going into these two series. But like I said, Timberwolves, really good young team. Warriors, experience there. It's basically the young Bucks versus the experienced Dons. So yeah, I think the Warriors are still in this. It's not done. Curry's injury is not the end of the world for them. But Game 2, the Timberwolves needed to win that game. In Game 1, it was a really poor shooting game by the Timberwolves. I think they should have won that game if they had shot better. So yeah, the Warriors won that Game 1 by 11 points. Fair enough. 1 point off 100. Look, it's still a long series in my opinion, and we'll see who comes out on top. But it's gonna be a long series. But anyways, guys, we're gonna wrap it up here. It's been a long show. Good show, actually. Really good discussion. Actually, really good detailed discussion. I actually really enjoyed this, even though my team are 2-0 down. And right now, it's been a good discussion. Lads, thank you for coming on the show today. Guys, as you're exiting the show, make sure you guys do hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Let's get up to 230 subs by the end of today. It would be nice. I'll be back live literally in like 10 minutes with Josh and Mike will hop on for a bit for a United West Ham preview. Augusti, I don't know if you want to hop on. You can hop on for the show if you'd like as well. But anyways, before you do sub to my channel, though, do go sub to King's channel. I will leave the link in the title right now, because it is important that you do go sub to my panelists before you do sub to me. I always prioritize my panelists before I prioritize myself. Big up to you guys. Thank you guys for the love and support as always, because without you guys, I just don't know, where I'd be right now in terms of like the channel and everything. So it's always like I said, it's always good. It's always love. It's always good chopping up with you guys. And yeah, we're out for for today. I left you link in the title now, King. People, subscribe to King's channel. Subscribe to African King Academy. Let them know what you got coming up, bro. Like any shows or any any plans for the weekend, because it's gonna be a long weekend.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some wrestling streams. It's what's the pro? It's a pay-per-view weekend. What's it called?
Okay.
It's not Payback. It's Backlash. It's Backlash. It's Backlash coming up. So a preview for that, and then a review as well.
Okay.
Also on Rumble, Authentic World Analysis. We talk politics on there as well. Yeah. So those are the two main things. So Rumble for politics. My channel for some wrestling. If you're a WWE fan, I talk on that. And yeah, all people welcome. Comments are welcome as well. Tell us your feelings about anything, and yeah, happy to talk NBA, happy to talk any type of sports, and yeah, I'll be back here for Formula One, NBA, anything. I'm good.
I'll see you guys after Game 4, I think. So even if the Celtics do get swept or whatever it is, I'll still be here, and I'll give my thoughts. But hopefully we don't. Hopefully we do come back and win the 2 games in a row. But listen, we are gonna close out here. It's always good, talking NBA. But yeah, like, share, subscribe. We're out. Go Celtics. Peace. Take care.